Jordan Peterson is a contemporary Canadian thinker and psychologist. He gained immense popularity for his original views on the state of modern society. 12 Rules for Life. The Antidote to Chaos is a best-selling book, translated into many languages, in which Peterson lays out simple rules that can transform the lives of everyone. Let's examine them briefly. Rule 1. Straighten your shoulders. There is a simple everyday law: the bad is attracted to the bad, and the good is attracted to the good. It is enough to start to achieve something, and then there will certainly be an opportunity to achieve something else. You can start with something as simple as changing your body language. Research shows that emotions are largely bodily manifestations. If we smile, we will feel happier, and vice versa. If a person is hunched over, lowered his shoulders and head, looks small, defeated, and humiliated, then this is how others treat him. If he straightens up and looks directly into the face of difficulties, then the attitude towards him will be completely different. Of course, to get out of the bottom, it is not enough to correct your posture. But the point here is not so much about the physical, as about the metaphysical side of the matter. Man is not only a body, but also a spirit. To straighten up means to consciously take responsibility for your life. Rule 2. Treat yourself as someone you should help. People do pretty well when they have to take care of someone. When it comes to themselves, not everyone shows such concern. Studies are showing that even in very serious cases, such as after organ transplants, people often stop taking the medication they need. Why do they show such disdain for themselves? Treating yourself as someone you need to help means thinking about what will make your life better, how to become and remain a good person. It means answering the questions: what should I do so that my life does not go to waste? How can I improve my health, strengthen my body, and develop my spirit? How can I reduce the chaos in my life and restore order? Taking care of yourself means being able to stand up for yourself and not give yourself offense. Be able to discipline yourself and move towards your goals, be able to reward yourself and keep the promises you made to yourself. It will make the world a better place and give meaning to your life. Rule 3. Make friends with people who want the best for you. There is a saying, the king is played by his retinue. In fact, it is true in relation to any person. His lifestyle largely depends on the kind of people around him. Quite often people choose a bad environment for themselves. Bad friends are those who pull a person to the bottom, instead of keeping him going up. These are the ones who will offer a cigarette to a former smoker or beer to a former alcoholic. These are the ones who envy your successes, instead of enjoying them with you. People choose bad friends for a variety of reasons. Sometimes a person is friends with someone simply out of a sense of loyalty. For example, they can be childhood friends whose life trajectories have long since diverged. Some people have such a low opinion of themselves that they believe that they simply do not deserve the best, that interesting and good people will not want to communicate with them. Others are obsessed with lifeguard syndrome and only associate with those who, in their opinion, need to be lifted from the bottom, even if as a result both end up in an even greater swamp. Many people choose a bad environment simply because it's easier. It's easy not to think, to do anything, and not to care about anything. It's easy to be weak, pathetic, and vicious. Rule 4. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not who someone else is today. We are used to comparing ourselves to the people around us. And, most often, with those who are much more successful. Even if we just embarked on the chosen path. Peterson suggests that you stop listening to your inner critic. Of course, he has his role. He honestly points out the shortcomings. Nobody could develop if they did not know themselves, their strengths, and their weaknesses. However, the inner critic must be able to turn off, otherwise, the burden of constant criticism can crush the personality. How to do it? First, accept the simple idea that the world is difficult. There is no such thing as someone being the best in everything, and another being a complete loser. Everyone has a career, family, friends, hobbies, sports, etc. in life. It is simply impossible to be the best in everything at once, but you can be the best in something specific. You can be a bad office worker, but be a good parent, or be a master at some board game, or grow the most delicious tomatoes in the country. If one thing does not work out, you can try something else, you can come up with something new. You can choose something that suits the individual combination of advantages and disadvantages well, and realize yourself in this area. Secondly, it is necessary to realize that the games that everyone plays are so individual, as specific as they are related to a particular situation, that there is no point in comparing oneself to others. The inner critic presents everything as if only one area of activity is significant, and slips a real star in this matter for comparison. Rule 5. Don't let your children do what you love them less for. In parenting, Peterson suggests building on a few simple basic principles. First, the fewer the rules, the better. It will be easier for children to navigate in them, and for parents to monitor their performance. What rules to introduce? For example, do not bite, kick or fight, except in self-defense. Eat in a civilized manner, so that people are happy to invite you to their house and to the table. Secondly, if the established rules are violated, the least necessary force must be used. For some children, a gaze is enough. The verbal command will stop the other. Clicking on the hand will act on the third. For many children, timeout is a very effective form of punishment, especially if the child is taken back when he is able to control himself again. Third, parents must act in concert. They must agree on the rules and strategies of discipline and help each other, take responsibility for the child and his upbringing if the other does not cope. Fourth, parents must be aware of how cruel, vengeful, and angry they themselves can be. Nobody plans to be a bad parent, but it happens all the time. No adult can tolerate a child dominating him for long. If a child threw a tantrum in a store, and his parents remained calm, this does not mean that they will not take revenge on him later. They will show less participation, less care, remain indifferent to his achievements and discoveries. This can, and often does, lead to the parent turning away from the child. If a parent is aware of his inability to tolerate certain behavior, then he should think in advance about ways to discipline so that this behavior does not repeat itself day after day. Rule 6. Get your house in perfect order before criticizing the world. Humans are limited, finite, and very vulnerable. Therefore, human life is filled with pain, suffering, and misery. When meeting with them, everyone at least once asked questions. Why is this happening to me? Why is life so unfair? Whose fault is it? When a person begins to look for the culprits of his failures, in the end, he can easily slide into all-consuming criticism. Peterson believes that criticism of the world embitters and plunges people into an even deeper abyss. Therefore, if you want to make your life better, it's time to stop criticizing the world and take care of yourself. It's too early for you to rule the state and remake the world if everything is not in order in your own house. It's too early for you to rule the state and remake the world if everything is not in order in your own house. Start small. Check if you have put things in order at home. If you have good relations with your family members, surround yourself with good people. Pick something that you know is making your life worse, and just stop doing it. I hope you learned something in this video. Don't forget to press like and subscribe button for second part. Until next time, success!